Good morning, Corpus Christi. The sun's back out. It's almost Easter. Today's show is brought to you by Stinger's Coffee. Right there, can you see let me get the logo in there. It's part of the deal. Just kidding, I don't have a deal. I wish I did though. Stinger's Coffee, if you're listening. Get you some one of those ballistic brews this morning. Got me one. Heading to get an oil change. Got a road trip next week. Got to make sure my car's ready. But, like always, even though the kids aren't in school, I'm still doing the live videos so we can talk about real estate stuff. No BS, just answers. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, welcome to the show. Every morning I do this, answer real estate questions that I get either throughout the week, something happened yesterday, or something I feel is just one of those things you need to know because it's one of the most common questions asked. So if you're just joining me, even if you're not going to watch the full thing, do me this favor, please. Right here in the comments, comment where you're watching from. If you're at work, hey, I'm at work right now. If you're laying in bed still, I'm in bed. If you're in the John, that's code for the restroom. Comment, I'm in the restroom. April, wherever you're at, comment where you're watching from. Give me a little like right here. And the reason I ask you to do that is that way, like I said, if you can't make the whole show, at least that way this can go as far as possible so people that need to know this information can get it. If you know someone at work, if you have a friend, thank you, April, she's at work right now. Are you watching me on mute? If you have a friend or a family member, maybe this Easter, you already know, oh, so-and-so's going to be talking about this. So-and-so's going to be talking about that. If you have someone in your life that has real estate questions and you feel like they need answers or they need some direction, RJ says, at home eating breakfast, brother. What are we eating, baby? What are we eating? If you have a friend in my office, thank you, Raquel. If you have someone in your life that has questions and you know they need direction, maybe you would like to help them. Like, man, I wish I could help you, but either one, I've never bought a house or sold a house before. Those are the same one. Or two, I did it, but I don't remember the whole process or how it all kind of happened. It just was happening so fast, and I was just kind of going back and forth. Everything's going along. Hello, Felisa. Is that how you say it? I don't know. It's just going still. Julie says at home doing homework. And April says got my AirPods in. Okay, so let's get to the questions. And if you have a question while I'm answering these questions, please feel free to leave a comment. If you're watching this on the replay, once it's been uploaded, you can still leave a question and I will get back to it as soon as possible. Jessica Flores. Hello, Jessica Flores. Whoever has a question, while I'm answering these, if you have one, go ahead and leave it in the comments. So the first question is a really, really important one because I feel it's something that not a lot of people know or understand. So whenever you're looking to buy a home, of course you start looking, you're on Zillow, you're on Realtor.com and Trulia, and you're doing all these different things, right? Let me fix this, make sure it doesn't start moving. You're doing all these different websites and you're looking for homes. And you're trying to figure out, okay, well, what do we like? We like this home over here in this neighborhood. We like this style. We like brick. We like stucco, whatever it is, right? But then you start driving around and you see all these different signs in the front yard. So I think for a lot of people that are new to this and new to real estate, they think, well, I saw this sign in this front yard, so I guess that's the house that company's selling. So I guess I got to call that company to buy that house. Or a lot of times people will go to our website and say, hey, I saw you had these houses for sale. And as much as I would love to sell all the houses that we have for sale, you don't have to go to just our brokerage when you're looking for homes, and vice versa. When you're looking for a home and you call me and you're like, Gino, I'm approved, or hey, Gino, need to be approved. After we do the approval process, good morning, Heather Jessica. Good morning, Elizabeth. After we do the approval process, you can buy, and we can help you buy any house in Texas. If it has an address, and even if it doesn't yet, we can help you buy that house. And the reason why is because every realtor, like myself, that has a real estate license, a Texas real estate license, is allowed to help you buy that house, no matter whose sign is in the front yard, okay? So just because one brokerage's sign's in this front yard doesn't mean you can't call me and say, hey, I saw this address. Boop, 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 boop. That's you texting me going boop, 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 boop. This is the address that I like. I'm like, oh, cool. Let me get to the details. Let's get showing instructions. Let's go check it out. Let's see it in person. Thank you, whoever did all the wows. So keep that in mind, because a lot of people think, oh, well, I guess I got to go with that person on that sign, or I got to go on that person, that sign. I've actually met plenty of people in my experience that have actually just called every single person on each sign to see the houses. And so like I showed a house one day on one of my listings, someone cut off the sign And I was like, well, and I always ask the same thing because, like I said, hey, I can help you buy this house, but if there's anything else you like, let me know and we'll set it up. Oh, I already got 6 other appointments today. So they called 7 different realtors to see 7 different houses. Now, here's why that's not smart. And some people would argue with me. Feel free. I don't care. When you are buying a house and you're looking for a house, you start working with a realtor, right? And so I hope you start working with a realtor to answer some of your questions and to guide you through the process. Not only the approval process. I got to keep adjusting this thing. Not only the approval process, but also, the search and the negotiating and the inspections and the negotiating and the inspections and the appraisal and the title office and explaining what all this stuff means and where you should be at the right time and where you should be writing checks to and where you should be signing, all these different things as we guide you through the process, okay? There's a lot of stuff involved whenever you're buying a house. So I hear this all the time. Man, I wish that when I bought my home, I would have really thought about the realtor that I worked with, because when I started buying a house, the realtor I worked with didn't really know what they were doing. I felt like they were just kind of like MIA and all these things happen. And I'll tell you what, I've been there. I think every agent, no matter how experienced, has been there when you first start. And there's a lot of stuff as agents we don't know because we're going through the process too sometimes for the first time. And we don't know what we're doing. And it's like, oh, I think this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, da-da-da. And sometimes things can go bad. So it's unfortunate that there's a learning curve in this business. You kind of have to hit the ground running. And sometimes it's just a bad experience for somebody else. And I've had those. I'm not going to act like, oh, I'm this perfect realtor. When I first started, yeah, there was deals and there's people that are like, I hate that guy. You know why? It's my own fault. I wasn't educated enough to make advice or give advice the way I was. But over time and through experience and hundreds of transactions and contracts and inspections, you just grow to learn this stuff. So what I'm saying is when you go to look to buy a house, you really want to try to pick who you're going to work with based off of who you feel comfortable with, who you feel is going to help you the most. And honestly, it's who you feel the most trust in. It's like, I trust this person's not only going to give me the best deal, but they're going to be there when I have questions and they're going to be there when shit hits the fan. Because trust me, not all real estate transactions are perfect. It's not like you go and you buy the house and you do inspections and everything's perfect and then you go through everything and all the process is perfect and the approval process. No, it doesn't work that way. There's a lot of things that can pop up and it takes experience and it takes someone with experience to realize, okay guys, it's all good. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to fix this. So when you call whoever's off the sign, you just never know who you're going to get. So that's not the way you should pick a realtor. The way you should pick a realtor is, like I said, do some research. Google. You can Google this stuff. I don't know why y'all don't do that. You can Google and read reviews. You read reviews for everything you buy. Why wouldn't you do that with who you're going to work with? It's like when you go get your hair done. Don't you ask, hey, who does the best? Da-da-da-da-da. You get reviews. You go online. You look at their work. You see who they've worked for. You see their clients. You're like, oh, okay, this girl looks really happy with her hair. I should go to that person. Same thing with houses. So when you see that sign, you don't have to call that person. And another reason why you probably shouldn't call that person is because remember this. When you call that sign, you're calling the realtor that seller of that home hired. So you're calling, it's like calling the other guy's lawyer. It's like, hey, I want to buy this house. Oh, yeah? Oh, man, yeah, they're not going to drop the price at all. They can't make any repairs because they work for the seller. Think about that. Think about that. All right, I know there's some questions coming in. I'm going to go ahead and get to this. Well, let me get to some of these ones first before I get to my next question. Because my next question is kind of on the same note. Let's see. Hold on. All right, let's see. Good morning. I'm going to be very careful, guys. Elizabeth says, just so you know, I'm talking notes. When I get the guts to do this, I have a good idea of how. You don't need guts. Just got to message me. That's it. Good morning. I love watching your videos. So much info. I'm always on Zillow looking, but I get nervous about, I get nervous about looking into buying. It's a huge step. Yes, it is. And Belinda said that. And you're exactly right. Buying a home is not a thing you just do one day. No one wakes up and just buys a home that day. No one just wakes up, unless it's cash. No one wakes up and just sells a home that day because it's a big deal. So that's why I always tell people, like people that are around me that hear me on phone calls, know I say this all the time. When I talk to anybody that's for the first time, they'll walk by and I'll be talking to somebody and they're like, well, I just know what to do first. The first step is always going to be informational. It's always going to be informational, finding out as much stuff as you can about whatever process you're doing, buying or selling. That way, once you are ready, okay, here's what I know I need to do. Because trust me, if you wait till you think you're ready, and you have, say you have a lease coming up in June, and the lease is about to end in June, you know, okay, well in June, that's when I got to start looking. If your lease ends June 30th, and you're looking at June 15th, like, okay, I'm going to start looking at houses now, that leaves us 2 weeks to not only get you approved, but to try to find and buy a house, go through inspections and appraisal process. Spoiler alert, it takes 30 to 45 days to actually buy a house. So even at that, even if the month of, you're thinking, okay, now's the time to do it, you're in for a big surprise to go through all this process and have it all rushed, have it all thrown at you if you're not ready for it. Dang it, I'm going to the wrong dealership. Damn it. Hold on, guys. If you've been with us at the beginning of the video, you knew that I was going to go to oil change, and I'm going to the wrong damn dealership on the whole other end of the damn highway. Give me a second. I got to make a U-turn, and I got to go all the way back around. Damn it. I just realized what I was doing. What was I talking about? Before I realized I was... Maybe don't listen to me. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. I can't even go to the right car dealership to get my oil changed. Yeah, so if you're looking to buy, if you're looking to sell, Belinda, you mentioned, hey, you're scared. It's okay. Ask all the questions you want. It's like anything else. Like before you take a vacation to somewhere you've never been, before you start a school that you've never been to, before you start a job you've never been to, before you start dating somebody you've never known before, the more you get to know about any of those things, the more comfortable you feel. You're like, oh, well, why was I so nervous? And a lot of people are going to do the same thing, like with anything else in life. Once you start realizing, learning, you're like, why was I so scared to do this? Like, why was I so nervous to ask more questions? Like, what did I think what was the worst that's going to happen? And here's what I tell people too. What's the best possible scenario that you can think of, Belinda, when you're looking to buy a house? You get the house of your dreams, right? You get a house that you can call your own. You get a house that you can wake up in. You get a house that, you know, it's going to be yours, and you can invite everybody over. You don't have to worry about how loud you can be. If you have a loud family, you don't have to worry about how late you stay up. You don't have to worry about anything. It's your home, and in the time you want to sell it, you can sell it, and you can get money back. That's best possible scenario. Worst case scenario, a tornado comes. I don't know. I mean, anybody can think about the worst and the best scenarios in life, but you got to think about the best stuff. All right, so that's Belinda's question. I'm going to the right dealership now. And he says, reveals you're important. Belinda, Gino, and his team are the bomb. Give him a shout when you're ready. Holla, Jessica. Thank you very much. Marie says, do all realtors make the same percentage commission on a house? Do you make commission off the entire sale price of the house or the real seller's balance? Ooh, good question. Okay, so Marie asked a good question. She says, how does commissions work? And I'll just explain how it works. That way it'll explain your question and answer a couple other ones, I'm sure. So whenever someone is looking to sell a house and they talk to a realtor, they'll talk to their realtor. They'll talk about numbers. They'll talk about, okay, what's the market value for my home? Okay, what do you think we could sell it for based off of what's sold recently in my neighborhood that's comparable? They'll talk to a realtor about that. And then they'll also talk to that realtor about, hey, what do you charge commission? What commission do you charge to sell a home? Now, there's not a standard across the board for all realtors. So I'm not going to give a number that all realtors charge because one, it's not allowed to, it's a law. And two, every realtor's different. Some realtors charge less, some realtors charge more. In my experience, sometimes the one that charges more might give you a little more. But then there's sometimes cases where they will charge you more and not do as much, or vice versa. It just really depends on who the realtor is. A realtor will go in, never selling a house before, and say, yeah, this is how much I charge, which is the same amount as someone who sold 200 houses. You know see what I'm saying? But yeah, the commission is based off the sales price, not the loan balance. So if a home is selling for $200,000, the commission is based off the $200,000. Okay? And also, that commission is split between the seller's agent, the one that's listing the home and marketing the home, and the buyer's agent. The buyer's agent is the one that's actually bringing the the buyer's agent is the one that's bringing the buyer and handling the buyer side of the transaction. So that commission gets split between the two realtors, again, based off the purchase price, and the commission is split down the middle. Just to throw a number out there, let's say the commission's 6%, right? If the commission is 6%, then the buyer's agent gets 3% and the seller's agent gets 3% as well. And they both do their side of the transaction. So the very end, when you see it, if you're buying a home, you'll see it on the seller side, the two different commissions, which is totaling one number, a percentage of the purchase price. Again, the seller pays commissions, not the buyer. Out of the net proceeds that a seller is making, I'm like really late to this appointment. Probably because it's going in the wrong direction. If the seller pays for commissions, not the buyer. Nissy says, drink my coffee. I was trying to. Matt Garza. Okay, so the second thing we're going to get into, unless someone has another question, I'll get to that 1 second. Let me have another sip. Hope you all are having a great morning. It's almost Easter. Oh, that's good. Feel free to comment where you're having Easter at, what you're doing for Easter, anything huge, anything big. All right, so the next question is, do I have to do inspections when buying a home? This question yesterday on yesterday's live video was asked 3 times. So I felt like it was something really important that we should go over. And again, this is what this show is for. This is why I do this, because there's common questions that people have all the time. And I love the fact that we can get this out there. If you're new, all these videos are categorized by questions. You can go to the video album and you can see all the different questions and all the live videos. There's a lot of great content on there. If you have the time, if you see a question that maybe you've asked, go look at the videos and be like, oh, I had that question, and go check it out. All right, so the second question, good morning. Who just joined us? Martin just joined us. Matt just joined us, along with Veronica. Good morning, all y'all. So the second question we have today, before I get to more y'all's, is, are inspections important when buying a home? Do I have to do them? And here's how I'll set this up for y'all. Let's see. Last week I was buying, what was I buying? I was buying a lotion. It's like a special brand, Billy Jealousy tattoo lotion. It's supposed to like oils and whatever the hell. I don't know what it is. It could be just poking my eyes. It's just the lotion. It's just Jergens, but it's in a different cool bottle with tattoo logos on it. Either way, whenever you go to buy something, say you're at Amazon, or say you're at Macy's, say you're at Best Buy, anytime you buy something, what do? Can anybody answer that question? I will buy someone Starbucks if someone can answer that question first. What is the first thing you do these days before you buy a home? I want to see the answer right here, and that person's going to get Starbucks. You can send me your email, and I will email you a digital gift card. So let's hear it. What's the first thing you do when you buy something these days? Before you buy it online, what's the first thing you do? Someone's got a comment. Don't mind me. I'm just in my coffee. Now I'm in the right direction, going to the right dealership. And then we got to end. Come on. Read the reviews. Boom. Who's that? Garrett? Garrett, send me your email. Send you some digital gift card. You read the reviews, right? Check if you have the money. Yeah, that's probably what you should do first before you buy anything. Okay, let's say you have the money. What's the second thing you do? Research, reviews. You can read reviews on anything. You go to Amazon.com. Anything you can look at, they got reviews for everything, no matter what it is. Like, there's a basketball that has like 3,000 reviews. It's just a regular basketball. It's got 3,000 reviews. Why does it need that? You go to a new restaurant, what do? You go to Yelp, you go to Google, you read the reviews. You read the reviews, read the reviews, read the reviews. Now, why do you read the reviews? Well, you're going to spend $30 for basketball. You want to make sure that's a good basketball, right? If you're going to spend $20 on a lotion, you want to make sure it's a good lotion. People are happy with it. Well, houses don't have reviews. They have descriptions whenever you're looking at it. They have, all the details. There's no reviews on it. There's no Carfax on a house. There's no house facts. So when you're buying a home, you're only looking on the outside. You're like, okay, and unless you know what you're doing, and it depends on how familiar you are with homes and construction, you're like, okay, well, I guess it looks in good shape. I don't know, because there's no reviews for it. So because there's no reviews for it, you got to get the house facts. You got to get, quote, the reviews. You got to find out as much as you can about that. And without actually living there, the only way to do that is to do inspections. And that's why they're so important, because when you're doing inspections, you're finding out everything you can about that house before you actually commit to it and buy it. And that's really, really important, because yes, you're going to spend some money doing these inspections. You can do a general home inspection, a pest inspection to see if there's any kind of wood destroying insects, plumbing. You can do a foundation check. You can do all these different tests. And the reason you're going to do it is because before you buy it, you want to make sure, hey, Do I know what I'm getting myself into? Are there any underlying issues here that I should know about? Is there any kind of thing that I should be worried about that could come to bite me in the ass later? So the cost of the inspections is far less than if you just said, I'll risk it. I'm not going to read the reviews. And then you get into it and the house is a mess. The house has all these problems. And you're like, I should have done inspections. Always do inspections. Always do inspections. It's always in your best interest. I got to get down. I'm actually at the right dealership now. I'm going to leave my buyer's guide, seller's guide inside the comments along with my contact info. If you got any questions, feel free to message me, and I'll see y'all on tomorrow's show. Thank y'all for checking it out. If you're watching this on the replay, you can still leave a question, and I'll answer it as soon as I can. Thanks, guys.